address issues that you may go through as a black man that has sometimes seen faith not always in the best way or the right way or the wrong way? Has any of that ever been your experience?
I hate church.
Why?
Well, first off, because they always sit me in the back. And I'm like, damn. All right.
But does it make you not feel good enough?
I mean, I'm way back there, yo. Then they put me in the front of the church, and I'm like in the front, I start sweating, yo. Real bad, like I'm supposed to be at the front. And then
Hey, my personal opinion, I don't really rock with Ray J because bruh come off as like hella ungenuine. Hella ingenuine. Like, it seems like everything he do, he just be playing too much. Like, it don't really be, real for real. Like, it look like he always looking for a clip like he trying to go viral or something. And I heard something about his sister not fucking with him no more. And I think that's just because bruh psyched out. I don't know if it's like a Hollywood thing or it's just he just a weird person in general just on his own. But you could tell like bruh act like he grown as hell, but he act like a child. Like, and then everything he do, he be on some weird shit. I don't know if bro on drugs or what, but nothing he does it seems genuine. Like, and y'all gonna see like it's a lot of shit he do on here where it's just like he trying to seem like he care, he trying to seem deep, but it don't seem real.
Nah, I just was up there like, yo, I'm a real sinner. And then
we all are. But what do you do, Ray J, when it comes to the journey of trying to find what the solution is for you when you are dealing with those areas in life that are too big for you and they affect your mental health? They affect the emotions that whether you can't pray away or you can't do something away, is because a lot of times as men, we have these things that help get us through, whether it's sex, whether it's drinking, whether it's drugs, and this is historical for us as men. Work, you know what I mean? We've always tried to find something to help us get through.
We need that. It'll never be a day where we don't have to find peace in something.
Like at the end of the day, like I feel you, man. Like damn, that shit, it like hurt me. It like really hurt me, like to see what you went through, bro. Cause that shit just, that's not cool. It's just like.
To even, like as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about.
See, that's the shit I'm talking about right there. Look at his face. Like it just seemed like bro just be playing all the time. Like those shit about that seem genuine, dog. It could just be me. I doubt it. I'm pretty sure y'all see it too, but man, I can't be around no nigga like him in real life, dog. I promise to you. Like they had me on the pod, I probably would just ignore, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Cause if I'm trying to have a real conversation about religion or anything in general, like having somebody like Ray J around that's just always playing, he don't be making no motherfucking sense. Man, remove Ray J from the table.
Kev as well, because to watch Kev have to mourn his brother, who I knew that they were so close. This was also his manager.
But was it any like when your brother passed, was any malicious stuff that happened? Like what happened? Was it any?
No, so this is the part that feels the most cruel about it. He had cancer, and at the time that he was diagnosed, they were like, this is like a terminal cancer, 5 to 7 years, right? So, man.
Lost my grandfather to cancer.
Well, sorry, man.
What makes it worse is if he just got cancer and got sicker and died, okay, that's what cancer does. You understand that. He got cancer, got sick, and then got better, to where he was back to where he used to be. So we were on a book tour, and I saw him in Houston. We had dinner. Everything was normal, and the night before he passed away, we were texting and calling, and everything was great. The day he passed away, we were talking. We were texting. We were talking about sports, and then my sister-in-law called and was like, "Your brother had a seizure," and I'm like, "What?" I still had my phone in my hand. I was like, "I'm just talking to him," and I was so disoriented that I had a show that night. And I was like, came home and I was like, I'm gonna go to my show, he'll be fine. And my wife was like, I'm gonna go to Houston. I think you should come. And thank you. And I'll never forget this. We're flying and my nephew called me on the plane and somehow my phone still rang. And my nephew told me on the phone, he's gone. Wow. This was the last time he was alive.
Yeah, you got.
I'm talking to him the night before. We make the New York Times bestseller. Look, thank you, Richard. So it's the highest high.
Man, I'm sorry, dog. It's just like, even that, it's like the antics. Ray J, I don't know, man. He just like Kev having a serious moment about losing his brother. This is like a serious moment. This ain't no laughing matter. This ain't the time to be trying to, get clips and stuff. And just like the him patting the fuck out his back and just like, it just don't seem genuine. Ray J seemed like one of them niggas that was always like, he had to have a moment in your moment. Like, if he came to your funeral, he would cry harder for Kev brother than Kev would cry. And he don't even know Kev brother. That's the type of vibe I get from Ray J. Let's keep it going, man.
Like, that day is the best day ever. Because it was like we did it. Everything was like we wanted to do this. We wanted to make all this stuff happen. And we did it. And before we could even celebrate it, you're gone.
Jeez.
And then all this stuff starts happening good. And it's like, bro, this is what we worked for. All the stuff, the shows, and it's just like, there's times where I go to text him or to call him and it's like, your brain doesn't even remember. So, and then on top of all that, his responsibilities became mine. So his family, he's the provider for that family.
Man, Ray J,
so now all of a sudden
down,
I gotta
bro.
help his wife,
Wow.
his kids.
Wow.
So I'm grieving with y'all.
Wow.
But I've taken on more of a burden, even though we're all sharing the same pain. I'd only been to 2 funerals before that. The 3rd funeral was my brother, and now I have to pay for and plan it. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? I've never done any of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I still got to be my own husband, my own wife's husband, my own kid's father. I still got employees. I still got to show up. That's what we're saying, the work part of it. Like,
Yeah, and that's unfortunately, man, that's life. You still got to be a father. You still got to be a husband. You still got to get shit done, but inside you may feel empty. And that's a part of being a real stand up man. Even when we hurting, we still gotta show up for everybody else. We still expected to show up for everybody else. We still put it on ourselves to show up for everybody else in the family and be strong even when we hurting ourselves. Even if, whether we do have somebody to comfort us or we don't, we still expected to be men. And I think it's dope as hell that, the more and more we go on, black men are really starting to focus on their mental health, because that was pretty much non-existent for, all of time, really, up until a few, recent years that we really getting into this conversation. So I'm glad that we have this table of black men that's really sharing their thoughts and, being real about their mental health and what they think about religion and all that stuff. I ain't get into the religion part on this video, but they touched on that topic and a lot of other things. But this mental health thing, man, it's so real. And I'm happy that a lot of people are pursuing it and getting therapy or just seeking something within themselves to find true peace in their life. Because as a whole, with the world, motherfuckers ain't been more depressed and sad than they ever been as of right now. We have the most resources. Mainly, I would say mainly contributed to the internet, but all in all, seek help if you need it. Seek help if you need it.
I don't even know what I would have done if I didn't have work. And I'm not even saying I buried myself in work, but it was like, I gotta live.
Yeah.
But I also feel guilty for living.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys, man. Is that, do you think, like even what's happening right now, do you guys think that that there is another medicine out there, Jonathan, that we're not even realizing they can also be part of the healing for us as black men.
Such as?
And it is the lack of sometimes affection that we feel that we have not been prepared to give each other as black men. Like, I'm gonna tell you something, and I said this earlier, you know, NLE, I'm not ashamed to say, man, that I would love to have known what it feels like to have a father hold me, or have a brother hold me and embrace me when I'm weeping tears. And I think that there's something therapeutic about that, but because the culture has always put us against each other, you know, that do you feel, Doc, that we are missing these opportunities to even help heal each other by embracing each other in our darkest moments, to just let each other know, I see you, I got you, and we're gonna be all right. Like, do you think that there's something we're missing in this alpha male, this toxic masculinity?
Now, speaking on what Kurt's saying, me and my partners, you know what I'm saying, if it was ever a time where my partners feel like they need to shed a tear and come talk to me, I talk to all my partners all the time about life, what they going through. They know they can come to me anytime. I have that type of relationship with the people that I deem close to me in my life. Now, speaking on what he's saying, my pops wasn't never no mushy dude. He real old school, real G. You know, he not the type to show no emotions, right? My pops has never told me, and it's crazy because I was just telling this story to one of my homies. My pops ain't never told me, like, verbally, like, he's never said, I love you. And this shit's so funny because I love my pops to death. That's my dog. So this story is not no diss to my pops. My pops is that guy. My pops, my nigga, that's my dog. So my pops showed me he loved me by action. You know, he's an action type of person. He's just not emotional. I'm pretty sure the shit make him uncomfortable. So it's so funny because sometimes I mess with him and I tell him like, all right, you know, say I'm texting him. I'm like, hey, all right, love you, Pop. He will not say that shit back. I'm not offended by it because I know my pops. I know my dad's solid. My dad showed me throughout my whole life growing up. I'm like his best friend for real. Like, so I ain't got no questions of his love towards me. He's just not an emotional man to where he gonna show it. Or he gonna say it. He's gonna show it, but he's not gonna verbally say that shit. That just ain't him. And I don't take no offense to it. You know, I got a good dad. I got a good pops. Shout out to pops, man.
Masculinity that we're dealing with more than ever in our culture.
We're missing connection.
Yeah.
And you see how the air changed?
Yes.
As Kevin was sharing. And I'm sitting here and I can feel his energy because, to be honest, Kirk, we don't even get the opportunity to grieve properly as black men.
Or even how Ray J even got up and just showed him some love. It's like, you know, we don't get those moments.
We don't get those moments. You know, when I saw all of these guys, I made it my point to acknowledge his transformation.
Yes.
I made it my point to acknowledge his perseverance and to speak life into him. Made it my point to talk with him and to share with him Ray J. And because when we lack connection, man, we limit ourselves from having the human experience. Yeah. We need connection. We need affection. I made a post, or it wasn't even a post, I was on a podcast, Brandy Harvey's podcast, and I talked about how study shows that boys need more hugs than girls. Not because they need more love, but we're usually underdeveloped emotionally as boys because we don't get touch, we don't get affection, we don't get I love you and look you in your eyes and not be able to say, you know, no homo. It's no I love you, man. And pause. It's like we don't get that. And man, the internet tore me up.
It's a war.
The internet tore me up because it was like, oh, so you saying, I said, no, that's not. The study revealed that because boys are underdeveloped psychologically and emotionally, because we've been told, man up, you better not be no bitch.
Yeah.
Don't you cry.
But at the same time, we're so far away from how we originally were supposed to bring up black men that we don't. A lot of black men don't know.
And they don't know.
Share more with that as a young man with that perspective.
When you walk, and I don't call them no YNs, but when I walk up to a young king, it's always black man, good brother, young king. I love you, man. Respect. And I've seen, man, and most times when I'm through the airport and somebody stop me and say something, I embrace them. That's right. And they'll say, brother, thank you. Because usually, Kirk, it disarmed them from having to armor up. Because usually when brothers go into any space, we're armored up.
Tell me about this war, NL.
Man, it's a war. I mean, we all aware of the war.
Yeah, before he touch on what he feel about it, but he definitely right. Like, man, when I'm going to a space and I don't know them niggas like that, it's like you automatically be on guard. But I'm a cool nigga, so like if you cool, I'm cool. But initially out the rip, just for my safety, because I ain't dumb, I'm going to be on guard. And, other people be on guard too, because you never know what somebody on. Now, I'm always aware of my environments in general, but that is something that's in the black community that you might get a little more tense. You see, a crowd of other niggas for, and that's just for survival reasons. That ain't just coming out the blue or somebody being biased towards it. It's just like, it is what it is. That's just the real raw reality of the situation. So, you do have your guard up, but for good reason, because a lot of, it's a good number of times where, motherfuckers be on some bullshit. But, if you do meet, what I'm saying, sometimes you might have somebody they have that aggression in their head, but you can kind of, like he say, you meet a motherfucker on some cool shit. Oh, what's up, boss man? How you doing, G? How your day going? You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's up with you, G? Just a little small greet. Bring a nigga guard down off the rip where you could tell that he was tense before that. You feel me? So I definitely get what he's saying.
We all aware of the war. Every day we wake up. You know what I'm saying?
Define it for me. To just somebody who's older, I would love to know in detail from your perspective. It's because your life is so much more different than mine. I would love to learn.
Is it the war to kill black masculinity? Is that what it is?
It's the war. It's a war to black man, black masculinity. But a lot of people got to understand black man also have feminine too. Feminine on the fifth dimensional level with receiving, stillness, trust, and just allowing things to happen and flow within a life. And just, the balance. We're unbalanced. As black men, we want to always do. That's the masculine. Not the feminine, not this. Feminine is receiving, stillness, trust, faith. Masculine is just the power and the act of doing. Once we start to create balance in that area, that's when black men, we become more polished. But the war is that information like that is not groomed to us from yay high. You know what I'm saying? Even,
that's good.
And brother, I don't even want it to be a misconception like I'm not understanding what you went through. I don't want you to feel in no way, shape, form disrespected.
No, I don't.
And, I feel like everyone on this table is the
You're doing
utmost
a great
love
job,
for.
King.
Understood.
Yeah.
But, man, one thing that I started to learn and I never understood why in science this stuck with me so much. It's the energy cannot die, can only be transferred. Now, that's my perspective, right? I'm not saying that's how you should apply it to your life. But I can say, man, my grandfather died of cancer when I was like 8 or 9 years old. It scarred me to a point to where I used to be scared to go to sleep. I didn't even understand what cancer was. I thought I was going to go to sleep and just die in my sleep. I saw my grandfather dead at 8, 9. That was my first dead body. Just recently, I fast forward and jumped from that. Just recently, my other grandfather passed. But the connection, the reason why I say energy can't be died, it only be transferred, I'm going to break down the story. When my grandfather passed, I'm usually able to meditate and connect with anyone on the other side, and I'm able to receive from other realms. Yes, sir. The living. I'm able to receive. Once I went to sleep that night, I had a dream. My dream was my grandfather knew I love guns. My dream was he was at his home, and in the room I used to stay in as a little boy, he took me into the home, from under the bed, pulled out a briefcase, and the dream ended. I was overseas. I was catching a flight when he died. Same thing you said. My mother was crying loudly on the aircraft. We was on the way to Europe. My mother was screaming. Flight attendants had to aware me because I had earphones on. I had to cater to my mother in the middle of a flight because her father just died, right? I went to sleep that night. I had a dream. Once I got back to Memphis, the first place I went to was my grandfather's house to greet my grieving grandmother, but to also go straight to that room in that dream. In that dream, when I lifted up the bed and I pulled out the same briefcase I saw in the dream that he sent me, I opened it up, and that's where I found all his hunting rifles. So when I say energy does not die, it can only be transferred. How did I get that dream? How did I know it was guns under that bed if I never knew it was guns under the bed?
So now, Ray J, when you hear these stories about how people can cope through what they go through, what has been the most beautiful lesson that has been given to you on how to survive being famous, being a celebrity, being in the public, having to deal with the scrutiny and all those things? What has been the thing that has kept you together so that you were able to just stand strong as a young black man?
First off, I want to say to NLE, like, I fuck with you, and I appreciate you really genuinely trying to, like, make sure you say what you feel and from your experiences, and also put out this word where it can help people, because a lot of people are listening. And I respect that. I do, man. But, like, and when I was 22, bro, nobody could tell me nothing. 22, 23, 24, 34, 36, right? It's all different. 42, 40, right? It's different. But in his situation, he's right there. And that's where it's at. So it don't matter what we say about the years that we put in after, and what happens to the years after that is a little different, and it gets a little trickier, right? But when I was 22, when I'm 22, that's all you can tell me. And the OGs, they used to tell me shit, and I'd be like, for sure, OG, much respect. All right, cool. That nigga don't know what he's talking about in my mind, and walk away, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I always show
We all
him,
did.
you know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
go, he like, and I'm telling you, man. He's like, all right, man. All right, OG, all right. And you like, you don't know what you're talking about, because I know what I'm talking about, right? Mm-hmm. But 22 and 32 is different, and 42 is different. Mm-hmm. And the way you going is, like, if you keep your head on straight like that and know that at any time, everything could change, like in 1 second.
It's already done. It's done it multiple times, yes, so.
Meaning what?
It's done, changed multiple times.
But what I'm saying is, no, it is, but it hasn't changed. Like, you don't understand it yet. You don't understand.
I don't understand what yet.
What 32 looks like.
Yeah, I do not. You're
Now,
right.
what 42 looks like.
But
there's no but to it.
No, it is a but.
No, it's not.
The way that you looked at the OGs and you said you don't know what you're talking about is the same way I look at the OGs, and I receive what I can, and I take it with a grain of salt and apply what I can't. I apply what I can and I leave what I can't. You feel me?
But are you eager? But are you eager to listen tonight?
Have I not?
I don't think so. Not yet.
It's all good. If you don't think I listen, then I for you to think. I know I'm listening though. I listen to this brother's story, and I relate. Listen to this brother's story. I relate. He said he said he overdosed.
Hey, that's real. Somebody don't have to necessarily agree with you or what you trying to say for you to consider whether they was listening or not. I say all the time, I can listen to you and agree or not agree with what you're saying, but either way it go, that does not mean I wasn't listening, right? 2, I always been wise beyond my age. So growing up, I definitely took note to what older people and OGs told me, because I always looked at people as wiser than me that was older because they have more life experience. So I was never one to like brush anything off that my granddaddy, grandma, great-grandma, great-granddaddy told me and think I knew it all. I never thought that, because I was actually smart. So I used to really like, okay, if they telling me this is for a reason. It's a lot of old sayings that I grew up to find out, like, oh, I see where that saying come from. It's repetitive. It's because they done been through it already. Like when your parents say you ain't been through nothing we ain't seen before. You ain't doing nothing we ain't did. I know that. I never looked at it like, nah, we doing something y'all ain't do. Nah, I know it's the same cycle, man. You know what I'm saying? They was once children before. They was once teenagers. They was once young adults. They got into a lot of the same bullshit we got into. So they telling you it ain't nothing new under the sun. So I was always different. But he ain't wrong. A lot of young people do think like that. So in this case, it seemed like now Ray J got a little, excuse me, it seemed like he got a little serious finally. So he ain't wrong for most teenagers. Yeah, they feel like they got it all figured out. And your mindset will definitely change over time. The older you get, 100% for like 99% of people. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's for the worse, it's going to change some way, somehow, some shape or form. That's just evolution of humans in general.
And nobody talk about time when I drove into a tree, to a light pole trying to, you know.
Wow.
I got my own instances too. I'm just, you know, I'm a little bit too, probably it looks as if I'm trying to keep it hidden.
No, it
But if I put it on the front line and I just go step by step, day by day, y'all will say, damn, you went through all of that? By 22, that's why I'm so far ahead, because I've already lived enough and I've learned. See,
So you feel like you feel like you're far ahead. How far do you feel like you're ahead?
I feel I'm far enough ahead to have a conversation with y'all, because I bet if y'all bring another 22-year-old, he won't be able to talk like this. You feel me? I feel mature.
Talk like what?
Talk and know what you
sound, but you sound intelligent and you sound like you mean well, but you just have no clue of what this thing is.
What the thing is.
The thing is time.
No. I want to hear him.
Time.
Time, right?
Time. Not timing, but time. Time.
Within time, what do you feel is going to be revealed within time that I'm not already understanding?
All right, so
I'm listening.
And I think what
That's real. That's
Ray
real.
J
That's a real question.
is really saying. Arthur C. Brooks talk about crystallized knowledge and fluid knowledge.
Yes, sir.
And crystal knowledge is what we've acquired with age and with time.
Yes, sir.
And I would see which honor and respect yours is fluid. And what he's saying is there's so much more to be revealed. And because you're at that position, you're going to learn it. So I don't think he's not saying that you're not. What he's saying is that as you stay on the path, you will continue to receive more and more.
But we have to debate. We have to have a debate, because if we don't debate it, then there's no point to be here.
My thing is, my maturity didn't come from
everybody.
age. It just came from learning where I messed up at. That's what I'm saying. Is that where?
Neither party is wrong. I like how Burr broke it down how he broke it down as far as saying like crystallized knowledge and fluid knowledge. So Ray J not wrong, NLE Choppa ain't wrong, but he just saying like, look, I get that you a little more advanced in your thinking right now because you have taken time to work on yourself, unlike the majority of people that's your age, that's your counterparts. But with time still comes a certain wisdom that only time can teach, and not the knowledge that you have. Even if you were a genius by the definition of by book, you know what I'm saying? There's still things that life can teach you that book can't. You can be a genius, you can be a scholar when it comes to school. There's still things that life will teach you that book can't. And some things really do come with time. You know, so that's all they saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got fluid wisdom, then you got time wisdom that comes from time, trial, error, and mistakes, something that, you know, you just ain't been through yet because you're older. And that's not saying he hasn't been through traumatic experiences, because clearly he has, as a lot of the people on the table, if not everybody at that table. But at the end of the day, none of them wrong. But like I said, I think it's dope as hell that these black men are sitting at that table having these real conversations and get down to the nitty gritty. I'm gonna stop it right there. I'll put a link in the description below for y'all to check out the whole interview. That's Den of Kings. Kirk Franklin dropped it on his channel. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm still on the road to 500 subs. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. We out. Gang.
Gave you the real, but it's like you can't take the real of me. Don't bring them bad vibes, don't need you killing my energy. Can't fuck with you if you a fuck nigga, ain't feeling me. She try to ride a nigga way to the filigree. Can't trust her soul, no, I can't fuck with none of my